The feed sells a lot of feels, a lot of love. But is any of it real? Real love has proof. Let his love reveal what's real. Counterfeit.
Well, around the beginning of the year, I always hear people say, like, I'm going to read the whole Bible. Like, I'm going to read the whole Bible this year. Maybe some of you have even said that. And to you, I say, no! Like, don't do it. Don't read the whole Bible. You're going to miss things. You're going to take big chunks of scripture, gloss over them. You're not going to really appreciate the little things along the way. Plus, there is so much in the Bible that doesn't even apply to us today. It's a weird book. It's written by a bunch of different people at different times to different people for different reasons. And if you don't know that in the context, like, it's going to seem weird. And then come February, which it is right now, you're just going to quit and give up and get discouraged because you're like, this is terrible, and I hate it. And that's what I see a lot. So don't do it. Or do, that's fine. I'm not trying to discourage you from reading the Bible. If you want to, you totally can. I've done it precisely one time, probably won't do it again, but I was like, whew, did that. There's that. But I think of the Bible like this, okay? Like a heart. If like the Bible is this body of work and it's living and active, there's a passage that says that. And if you think about it like a body, then like each little letter, each word, each verse is kind of like a beat in that heart that makes the whole thing live. On average, the human heart beats 100,000 times a day. The mass sum of all of those heartbeats equals your life. That's the reason you're alive and that you're walking around and existing every single second of every single day. Even since I said that, your heart has beat several times and it continues to right now and it's giving you life and it's small and you don't think about it. You take it for granted because you're focused on the big picture of life. But the big things are all made up of a bunch of tiny little things that make them work. Sometimes I think we fail to really slow down and appreciate what happens in each little beat. And this is the case with life, family, relationships, like everything. But it's also the case with the body of work known as the Bible. Before we get into that, some interesting things. Each heartbeat, check this out. Did you know that each heartbeat is an electrical impulse that if you have you're like an electric eel and it's triggering a coordinated muscle contraction. It's contracting and expanding, which pumps oxygen-rich blood throughout your body, all the way down to your little toes and your fingertips, through the veins and whatnot. And then it relaxes to refill, and then it contracts again, all in less than a second. It's doing this all of the time. It's pretty insane. Like, have you ever cut your finger open, and then it like just squirts out like on beat like that? It's so nasty, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, it's a mechanical system, and it's in your body. And it keeps us alive. And if it misses even one beat, it can be catastrophic. If it gets off at all, it could kill you. And how often do we really think about that? We kind of just go on living each day, not really too worried about it because it's always been fine. It's never failed us yet. Solomon, he wrote this passage he actually wrote all of Proverbs about 3,000 years ago. And if you have a Bible with you, you can turn in it to Proverbs and go ahead and get there. We're going to be in Proverbs chapter 4. And I encourage you to underline the thing, highlight the thing, take notes in here and everything. But Solomon knew what he was talking about when he said this, when he wrote these words. Above all else, guard your heart because everything you do flows from it. He's taking like a metaphysical look at the heart because everything that you do flows from your physical heart. Like you wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for the heart beating inside of your chest, right? But he's talking about something bigger. This single verse has been studied for thousands of years. Entire books have been written about this one verse. In Hebrew, this one verse is only 8 words long. 8 words! And thousands of words for thousands of years have been written on it. Why? Because it makes some pretty insane statements. And I really want to slow down, catch them, appreciate, and apply them. So we're just going to take it bit by bit, beat by beat. First, above all else. Really? Above all else, I read that and I'm like, I've got a wife, I've got kids, I have a house, and these things, I have like a a savings account. It's a very small savings account, but like if someone tried to come steal it, I would guard it. Any of those things, I'm going to guard and protect anyone from coming at those things. They seem very important to me, but he's saying, no, above even all of those, guard your heart. You have got family and you have got friends and sports and grades and a future, as well as a past and a reputation and relationships. Like, you're saying that we should guard our heart above all of those things? Solomon had political power, military power, an estimated net worth of between $1 and $3 trillion, which is more than Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos combined. This dude was one of the richest people to ever live. And he's like, above all of that, the most important thing is my heart. Why? He says, guard your heart. And when he says it, he's not talking about the biological muscle that's beating inside of your chest. Biblically speaking, the word heart refers to something more abstract. When you see the word heart in the Bible, it's not usually, hardly ever, talking about this source of your cardiovascular system, right? It's talking about your true inner self. Kind of replace it with like your true self, my inner self. The control center for every person. Everything you think, say, or do. Your motivation for doing anything. Your consciousness, like your guilt, your shame, your ambition, your inspiration. Like, this all flows from the heart. It's what controls desire. And we would think about that because we have science now, and we're like, no, that a lot of that comes from our brain, right? But did you know this? The brain is never mentioned in the Bible. Never. As far as people in the ancient Near East were concerned, the brain, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a factor. It didn't exist. This wasn't the source of our thoughts and reason. It was the heart. But again, not is something like more like your consciousness or whatever, your essence, who you are. Your morality, where does it come from? And then he says this, for everything you do flows from it. Everything. This is why it's the most important thing to guard, because it dictates everything that you think, everything that you say, everything that you do. So how are your thoughts? How are your words? How are your actions? Would you like them to be better in any way? If so, we've got heart work to do. And heart work is hard work sometimes, but it's worth it. I always thought of, there's this phrase like my grandma would say. Some of y'all got these grandmas where they're like, or even just someone in church or something where they would talk about inviting Jesus into your heart. Have you heard this phrase? It's like, do you have Jesus in your heart? Have you invited Jesus into your heart? I always thought that was weird as a little kid. I'm like, there's going to be this little tiny man like go into my ventricles and like post up and pitch a little tent and a campfire on top of my heart. Like, it was weird as a kid. I'm thinking, what is that? What does that mean? And it wasn't until I was older that I really started to realize that inviting Jesus into my heart isn't some weird like physical thing. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, duh, Ren, dude. But I don't know. What it means is that you're inviting him into your control system, your consciousness, your desires, your will, your hopes, your emotions, your words, everything I just said that flows from the heart. You have to look at it through the lens of the biblical understanding of the word heart. It's your essence, who you are, your inner self, your true you, your pride, your ego, every area you're tempted to sin, to miss the mark. That's what you're inviting him into. And who is Jesus? Well, he's the perfect risen Son of God who lived a perfect life, died, and rose again and said, I am God. And he modeled throughout his life the perfect way to live, how to treat yourself, how to treat other people. And he's like, follow this way. That's what it means to invite him into your heart. The heart controls what you do in all of the situations like cheating, gossiping, spreading a rumor. Like when someone puts something in the group chat and you have a choice to perpetuate that or to let it end there. Vandalism, body shaming, judgment, excluding others for whatever reason, doom scrolling, lying, lust, all of this stuff. The heart controls what you do in all of those situations. So let me ask you something. Who controls your heart? If the heart's controlling all of that, who's controlling your heart? It's like you're this vehicle and you're on route somewhere. Who's in the driver's seat? You might think, oh, it's either like, the devil or God. But there's also a self. There's a you there too. That's working your own presuppositions, your own interests into the thing too. And it's all of this pulling and pushing, trying to get you where you're trying to go. And if where you're trying to go is the bullseye, the target, the not sin, the perfect and pure desire that God has for you and your life, how do you get there? There's only one way, and it's through Jesus. So is it you? If it's you controlling your direction, your destination, your heart, you would say, yes, I'll just do whatever the heck I want to do. Like, I'll cheat, I'll lie, I'll get ahead, I'll do whatever it takes, because who cares? Like, whatever the consequences are, they don't really matter. I don't care what anyone thinks or what anyone feels or what anyone says, as long as I'm having fun and it feels good. That's all that matters, right? I'm trying to get the most out of this world, just get the best experience out of it, because then I die and it's done. If that's it, then like, go for it. We'll see how that works out for you. I can tell you from personal experience, as well as a bunch of experiences from several people I've known throughout my whole life, it doesn't end well. Now, there's Jesus, who wants what's best for you, which is the bullseye. This is a life of honor. This is a life of integrity and honesty and joy and peace and kindness and respect and love for yourself and others that goes far beyond anything you could ask or imagine. And it is so much better than anything this world can give. Man, I want to experience that. I want us to experience that. I want it for everyone. And when I was in your shoes, I would hear someone say something like that and be like, but being a Christian is so lame, dude. It's so lame. There's so many things I can't do anymore. But I just want to say, because I wouldn't have believed it, but I'll say it anyway. It is fun. Like, I love my life. I'm happy. And I have a blast, okay? I have a blast. And Jesus is the one driving my heart. I'm not perfect, obviously. But he's in control. And it's something I surrender to him every day. And it's better. It's better. I want it for you guys. It's harder, I will say. It's against the grain, and it's not popular sometimes, but it's better. That's right. So how's your heart? I'll leave you with that question, because everything you do flows from it. It's time to put Jesus in the driver's seat. I believe in you guys. I think you're amazing.